Hello and welcome to another blog highlight video. I'm Isaiah Henkel, a Cheeky Scientist, and this week's blog article talks about 5 things you should do if you're being ignored on LinkedIn. First and foremost, don't get discouraged. Very often, as PhDs coming from academia, we think that if somebody doesn't respond to us, it means that we're a failure in some way or we're not worth responding to. But when you're reaching out on LinkedIn, especially to people who already have a job, they're likely not getting the messages right away, if at all. First of all, they're not looking for a job anymore, so they're not even on LinkedIn. If they are, they're on there rarely. They're probably going to get an email that LinkedIn sends them about your message, and that email is probably going to go to their promotions or social folder, or maybe to spam if it's going to their work email. And they might have to see your name a few times, even if it goes to their regular inbox, before they'll actually open it. So don't get discouraged. It's just part of the process. It's part of the building the relationship. Number 2, follow up, right? Again, sending one message is not enough, especially because in industry, getting 100 messages a day, 100 emails a day is very, very common. And unless you see somebody's name multiple times, especially if you don't recognize that name, you've never talked to that person, they're not a colleague of yours, you're likely not going to open it. In academia, as a PhD, you might get, a dozen emails a day. I mean, if you get more, that's fine, but you're certainly getting less than most PhDs do in industry, or most people you're going to be reaching out to in industry. So this just means you have to follow up, and every time you follow up, add value. Don't ask for things. Don't be passive aggressive. Don't say, just seeing if you got my last message. Just keep adding value. The article itself will go into how to add value. Number 3, increase your threshold, right? As PhDs, again, coming from academia, we think we should only have to reach out to somebody once, and then if they'll decide whether or not we're worth responding to, and if they don't, we just quit. That's the end of it. Very, very likely you're going to have to reach out 4, 5, 6, 7 times before you hear a response. That's what we see on average in our Cheeky Scientist Association, even for PhDs following best practices. So change your threshold. Just like you probably think you go after one job lead at a time, you go all the way to the end. If it doesn't work out, you start over. This is incorrect thinking. You're going to have to go after 30, 40 different job leads at a time. You're going to have to go on 6, 7, 10 different interviews before you start getting job offers. Okay, so change your threshold. Following up is normal. Instead of just reaching out to one person, and this takes me to point number 4 of the article, just utilize what I call the power of next. If somebody's not getting back to you after reaching out several times, go to the next person, right? Reach out to more people. This goes hand in hand with changing your threshold. You should be reaching out to at least 2 people a day if you're serious about getting a job. And then finally, be specific when reaching out. Add specific value. Talk specifically to the person. Even your first line of an email or of a LinkedIn message should be specific about the other person. And when it comes time to ask that person for an informational interview or for a referral, make a specific request. Don't just say, hey, I'd like to talk to you sometime. Say, hey, I'd love to get on the phone and talk with you for 3 minutes to ask you just 2 questions about the career that you're in and how you like it. That's it. This takes us to the end of this blog highlight video. Make sure you check out the article, and I will see you next week for another blog highlight video. Remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.